At least 14 flights operated by Vistara, IndiGo and Akasa Airlines were hit with fresh bomb threats on the 20th of October, a day after the BCAS met the CEOs of several airlines to discuss this matter. The threats made on social media have triggered emergency protocols, forcing pilots to land their planes before reaching their destinations. These threats come on the heels of 20 bomb threats in a single day, targeting several airlines earlier on the 19th of October, bringing the total number of hoax bomb threats in the past 7 days to over 80. The relentless wave of threats has severely impacted operations and caused widespread disruptions across India's aviation sector. In response to this growing crisis, the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security convened an urgent meeting with airline CEOs to address the situation on the night of 19th of October. The primary goal was to ensure passenger safety while minimizing operational disruptions caused by these false alarms. Airlines like Vistara, IndiGo and Akasa have been hit hardest, with flights delayed or even diverted due to these threats. The high-level meeting was attended by Air India CEO Campbell Wilson, Air India Express CEO Alok Singh, Vistara CEO Vinod Kannan and representatives from IndiGo, Akasa Air and SpiceJet. BCAS Director General Zulfikar Hassan led the discussion, emphasizing a zero-tolerance policy towards security lapses. The meeting aimed to establish standard operating procedures to mitigate further risks. The authorities continue to investigate the bomb threats with a stern focus on preventing further disruptions to India's aviation sector. My colleague Shriya Kundu spoke to Jitendra Bhargava, the former executive director of Air India, discussing the need of the hour amid such consecutive hoax alarms being raised within the aviation sector. Take a listen.
It's a very unprecedented phase for the Indian aviation. That hoax call, one after the other, is being made, disrupting flight schedule, diversion of flights, causing inconvenience to passengers, financial loss to the airlines and to the country's image as to what are we happening. Unfortunate part is that the focus has been of BCAS that let's meet the CEOs of the airlines, get the security, get marshals more appointed, and for them to get onto the drill. But let's look at it realistically. Can the aviation industry, which is a victim of these hoax calls, do anything to prevent it? The answer is no. Because the standing operating procedures are very clear that once a hoax call, once a call is made, it only turns out to be hoax later. When a call is received, it's communicated to the pilot, and who takes the first decision to land at the nearest airport in pursuit of safety. So that is how it's been happening and all over, and that's where the financial loss inconvenience comes in, as far as this is concerned. Now, what can the airline do in these circumstances? In my opinion, precious little. If something is to be done, is to avert the telephone calls being received or calls being made on through the social media that there is a threat to a particular flight number which they've been mentioning about it. So the focus, as I've maintained, is must shift from counting of flights, like you said, 70 flights have been impacted thus far, to the number of days that have gone by since the first call was made, and how successful have we been in tracking the origin of the calls and apprehending the culprits. Till such time, we can reach out to the culprits, arrest them, take them to task, and they have a fear in them that, look, we can be tracked, we can be traced, we can be apprehended. The calls will not stop. So that is where the focus, in my opinion, has to be. The Civil Aviation Minister has been holding meetings. Parliamentary committee attached to the Aviation Ministry has been briefed on the subject. Right. But the question is, the investigating agencies. BCAS is an arm, all right, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. But is the NIA, intelligence agencies, and if they could track down that the calls were made for some of these flights out of Germany and London, then to decode that, okay, the VPNs that we use, where did the call actually originate?
Absolutely. So, Mr. Bhargava,
tried.
do you think there should be an international cooperation as well to some level when we talk about investigation here? That is much needed at this hour.
Yes, we need that. That's why we are saying that once you say that, look, it's beyond our shores and the calls have originated from Germany or London, why not seek international help? And said, look, we need to track it down because 6
Right.
days plus for these calls to continue to do it, it sends a very, very negative message with respect to our own capabilities. So the best thing is get the help, the best help that can wait, and curb the calls, arrest the people, and only when the fear, the deterrent comes into the people who are making these calls, will the calls stop.
While the investigative part is one way to go ahead into this very matter, do you also think that at this point, given the kind of disruptions it's causing to the civilians or to people who are, using the airline facility, do you think it is also needed at some level to train the ground level workers as to how to manage these situations? Some sort of specific training is also needed.
You train your staff, you have the best of security services, you screen the passengers, you screen the baggages thoroughly well.
Right.
But will you divert a flight if you get a call? The answer is yes, you will divert a call because you cannot be 100% sure that we can take a chance and keep proceeding with the flight. Should something untoward happens, then you regret for your life and said, when a call was received, why did I not divert and land at the nearest airport? You see,
Right.
the only airline globally is the Israeli airline El Al. When they get a hoax call, they do not divert because they are so stringent with their security checks and so confident about the checks that they said, look, it's a hoax call. Right from the word the call is received, they don't go about it.
मैं आपको बताती हूँ